These athletes that I look up to, like they know my name, like they watch me play, like they were in tune, like sitting in front of their TV, taking time out of their day to watch me play. So like,
Welcome to Pretty Big Plays. We are here with the South Philly Little League pitching legend, Monet Davis. Monet, obviously we want to catch up on all that you're doing right now, but of course we want to go back to 2014 and kind of that was the starting point for what launched you into where you are now. And so, yeah, I just want to know a little bit more about kind of what that moment was like for you and how that kind of changed the trajectory of your life.
I mean, that moment was kind of crazy, just because no one expected it, and it kind of just happened, just like right then and there. But I've been playing baseball since I was 7, so like a lot of my teammates and the parents like knew what I was capable of, but like on a bigger stage, no one really saw anything like it. It has changed my life drastically. I feel like I wouldn't be getting the opportunities that I've gotten since then, and opportunities in the future. So it's changed, definitely for the better, and I'm able to, encourage not just my family, but encourage other people around me, especially the people from South Philly.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, you made like waves with what you did. You were the first Little League player to be featured on a Sports Illustrated cover. Can you talk about that feeling of such a huge accomplishment?
It's one of those things where you can't really put into words. I just know like my
Right.
brother used to always have a bunch of Sports Illustrated magazines in this room, and I would just go through them, flip through them. I always thought they were cool, and the posters that they have in them, we would always rip them out. So, once I was given that opportunity, it was something that I couldn't believe, just because probably a couple months before that I was already flipping through it through my brothers. But I just thought it was just going to be like a little article in the magazine, and they kept it
Right.
a secret from me the whole time. I just remember being pulled out of the rec room, and they're like, "Yeah, it's going to be a 5-minute interview," and I was like, "All right, cool." And then
That's
it was
unreal.
something different, yeah. So it was pretty cool. And then like once it came out, we have chaperones for the team. They brought like a huge stack into the rec room, and they were showing me it, and like I was signing them for different chaperones from other teams as well. And then I think we had some for everybody on the team. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Oh, that's so cool. You know, like when you would like play other teams, you'd be like whispering in the dugout, like, "Do you know who that is? Like, do you know who that is?" Like, I just know that
Yeah.
happened every single game.
Yeah,
That's
or they'll
so
like
funny.
try to heckle me and like talk trash,
Yeah.
and then afterwards they're like asking for a picture. But I just try
Oh
to keep it
The
yeah.
fun.
same people.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
That's always how it
Wow.
is. They be hating on you in the moment, and then after when they
Hmm.
get the opportunity, they're the first people to be like, "I need a picture. I need an autograph."
Yeah, like one kid, I played in summer 2020, and that whole year I didn't throw a baseball. Like I didn't pitch. I was
Right.
playing softball, so like it was just like a let's see what I can do. And the kid ended up hitting a homer. I gave it to him. It was a bomb. Like I
Yeah.
give credit when credit's due. It was a bomb.
Yeah.
But then they like went on social media, started like talking trash, and I was like, you guys didn't even win. Like, and they're like, no, 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 we're
Yeah,
sorry. Like we didn't mean it. And
that's
I was like,
wild.
what's the reason? Why are you doing that? But
Yeah.
yeah, we just kind of joke with them.
Yeah. You got to keep it lighthearted and, you know, you know who you are and that's all that matters. But I did want to ask, so like following that moment, right, that shutout perfect game that you pitched, tell us a little bit about, I know certain celebrities were like tweeting about you. All of a sudden you were kind of open to this world of that you probably weren't used to prior to that. So I know there was a tweet that even KD tweeted out about you. I know you've met several celebrities, but talk about that. Were there any athletes along the way that have kind of spoken into your life, or maybe it was even before you became famous, that really inspired you?
That moment was cool, just seeing all the tweets, especially from some of my like favorite athletes growing up. So it was just wild, like to actually think like these athletes that I look up to, like they know my name, like they watch me play, like they were in tune, like sitting in front of their TV, taking time out of their day to watch me play. So like I was just like mind blown by the whole thing. And then once I got to meet them, they were all just super cool. I would ask them for a picture, but then they're like, "No, I'm asking you for a picture." So especially like being 13 at the time, and having like those adults that I've always admired, give me that type of like talk and, give me some type of motivational speech to, keep going and how I inspired so many people. It's been cool. I kind of wish at the time I like screenshotted all of them so I would have them, but they're somewhere out there. I'm sure I can find them,
Yeah.
but it's always cool
Yeah.
seeing some of your favorite athletes like actually watch you and talk about you.
Which athlete like tweeted at you or like said your name during an interview that you were like starstruck about?
I'd probably say probably Michelle Obama. That was the one where I was like,
Oh,
I
that's
can't
sick.
believe that.
No,
And
that
she was the
Wow.
that's
first lady
That's
at the
crazy.
time.
big.
Yeah, so I was
Wow.
super excited about that, and I
Mhm.
I just think, when I was younger, I just thought like presidents and first ladies, they would be like, handling the political business, not really paying attention to, little league, but I thought that was pretty cool.
But the
Yeah.
Obamas love sports too. Like they were
Yeah.
That's true,
always
yeah.
they were always into sports, and I know Mr. President himself balled up. So he was
Yeah.
definitely
He can hoop.
yeah, they were
He can
yeah,
hoop.
they were definitely like tuned in. So that's so sick. I wasn't expecting you to say that, but that's sicker than anything I was thinking you were gonna
Yeah.
say. So
Yeah, that was
Solid.
probably my
Solid.
favorite.
Wow. So, was there any piece of advice, or when you got to interact with her, was there anything she said, like, I'm proud of you, or keep doing you, or something that stuck with you?
Basically that, and to
Mm.
keep going because I inspired so many people, that were watching, and to, keep believing in my dream and to not stop. So just like
Yeah.
the basic ones, but like obviously
right.
it's from Michelle Obama and Barack Obama, so it's gonna stick with me more than it does for someone else.
Right.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
I mean, coming from someone like that, how can you not take that advice and like motivate yourself every single
Mhm.
day? So even like bouncing off that, I know you had an experience with Kobe Bryant that you met him, and he
Yeah.
was such a big like advocate for female sports and women in sports. Did you guys share a moment like that, or what was that conversation like?
It was so the very first time I like talked to him, I was in Chicago at the time, and it was on the phone, and no one would tell me who it was, and I just hear people talking on the phone like, yeah, she's right here, but they're not saying who it is. So once I got on the phone and he introduced himself, I was just kind of speechless, and he was saying how he sat his daughters down in front of the TV and like watched me play, and like I couldn't believe it because I'm like, you're Kobe, like
Yeah.
you can talk to like
Insane.
anybody else. Like, why are you having your daughter sit watch a 13-year-old? Like, it makes no sense. But that was pretty cool. And like, my mom like got it on video, and I was just sitting there like didn't know what to say. And then I got to meet him his last game in Philly. I think it was 2016. I think that's when he retired, if I'm not
Right. Yeah.
mistaken.
Yeah.
I got to meet him then. I just came from practice. I was like in like some like practice clothes, didn't really look too good, but I got to go behind near the locker rooms and talk to him. And there were like a ton of people, but he like saw me and just like decided to stop and talk to me, and just tell me to keep going and that it was nice to finally meet. So that was pretty cool.
That's
Wow.
that's more than cool. That's literally insane. Like Kobe's
Yeah.
definitely one of my favorite athletes, and I think a lot of people's favorite athletes. So that
Hmm.
experience is definitely one you got to keep like really close to your heart.
Of
Yeah.
course, all the time,
Yeah.
all the time.
I recently got put onto Edge Boost and it's completely transforming my betting game. Let me tell you, this is the world's first bet now, pay later program that, unlike credit cards, has zero interest. How does it work? Let's say you're feeling great about this weekend's game, but wish you had an extra $100 to bet. Simply set up your Edge account now whenever you want to double down on a bet. Deposit into your virtual card and Edge will match your deposit. Simple. Head over to the link in the description, double down, and double your winnings with Edge Boost.
I know, obviously, baseball was kind of what you were best known for at the time, but like you said, you played softball. I know you can play basketball. Well, I saw you in the All-Star game, so I know you got it.
We all saw.
Yeah, we all saw. You handed it to Kevin Hart, but I want to ask, like, what prompted you to pursue baseball and then now softball versus maybe going another route?
My travel coach, my cousin played at the rec center that we always went to, and he played on the travel team, just the older group. And I was always going to his games, and I would be playing football with all the guys in the outfield, be playing tackle football, just like stuff we normally do, just like having fun. And he saw me throwing. He said I was throwing a spiral 30 yards at the age of 7, which I think is crazy. But
Yeah.
he saw that, and he gave me a little sticky note to give to my mom. It was like, here, just give this to your mom. Like, see, have her call me, and she did not want to call because she knew it was an all boys team, and she's like,
Yeah.
I'm not letting my daughter play with those guys. Like they're going to be aggressive. They're going to rough her up. But little did she know I was
Yeah.
already playing with the guys. Like
Right.
so, I was already playing basketball because of my older brother. But then once she finally called my coach and she let me go play, that's when I think it was basketball season at the time. So we had basketball practice, but then there's also baseball practice inside. And the first practice, he let me sit out, and he was like, "Just watch. Like, you don't have to jump right into it. I know it's hard. These guys have been doing it for, a couple months now, but like, it was a 3-man weave, so obviously it's a little confusing. But I like watched a few, and then I was like, all right, I want to do it now, and I just jumped into it, and then from then I just kept going, kept playing with them, and then we started soccer, indoor soccer, and then we started outdoor soccer, and then just year round, we've always just been playing different sport. Then once I got to 10th grade is when I started playing softball because I wanted to hit. And once you get to high school, that's when you kind of figure out what position you're going to play in baseball. And they just had me being a pitcher. And I was like, well, I still want to hit. Like, I still like hitting. So then I just decided to switch over to softball. And I was having a lot of fun. Obviously, when you're winning games, you have a ton more fun than when you're losing.
Yeah.
And all the girls on the team were super, super nice. They were very patient, helped me understand the little things of the game that were different from baseball. And it was just a lot of fun. Like, that's probably one of my favorite teams that I played on just because they all knew what they were doing and we played well as a team and we just had a lot of fun. But once I got to 10th grade, I just stuck with it. And I was like, I want to do a sport in college that's going to be fun, that I could, learn a lot more within these 4 years. And I ultimately chose softball. And I thought I was gonna break some hearts. Thought my mom and my stepdad weren't gonna like it. Thought my coach weren't gonna like it just because I played AU basketball for those 3 years in high school. That I felt like I just wasted money. But then they were all just like, as long as you're happy, as long as you go to college, get your degree, like we're cool. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. You always knew it was baseball, softball at the end of the day. Like, it was in your
Yeah.
heart. You always knew it. I mean, you tried everything else, but it was like you were born for it.
Yeah. It's like I couldn't escape it.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
it's cool. I still enjoy it.
Exactly.
That's good.
No, yeah, you could always play for fun. Go play a pickup game here and there. Just go to the you could always just for fun. But I know Haley mentioned earlier that you were in the All-Star game. So you were in the Celebrity All-Star game, obviously with the one and only Kevin Hart. Do you have any funny experiences or stories or things he said that people may not know during that game?
Definitely. So like before, when we're in the locker room, like most of the time, that's when everyone's like mingling. Obviously, we have 2 different locker rooms, but like he came over and like he was joking at first, but then afterwards he was just like, like what you did was so amazing, especially being from Philly. Like it was super cool to watch. Like I'm so glad like you did all of that. Obviously like the normal advice. But then he was just like super cool. Like obviously during the games, he's Kevin Hart. Like he's just funny, so he's making jokes. But then later on, I think the next day at like the skills competition, like I was sitting next to him and he was just super cool. Like just a down to earth guy. Obviously you can tell he's good with kids. So like he was very, patient with me and telling me jokes and just giving me some advice. But he's just super cool. Like he's just a super nice guy. And obviously he's one of the best comedians in the world. So like he has all the jokes and he's very quick with it. But that week it was pretty cool, and he gave me props when I did the spin move on him as well. So I thought that was cool, and everyone there, took some of the intimidating factors out the picture. So they're all super patient, super nice with me, and they were like, "Just play your game. Like it's for you. Like have fun out there. Obviously if you need help, like we're here." But it was super cool.
All right, I love that.
What a fun experience. Like you can show your kids one day or family members one day that you were in the All-Star game at such a young age. That's so wild. But obviously like so many other athletes your age that had to kind of figure it out through the pandemic, through COVID, opt out a season. Talk about that. And did you have any like major changes through your that time, or were there any decisions that were really difficult to make that happened because of the pandemic?
I think that was a time where I got to take a break from everything, and like didn't have sports, just had school to focus on, and like had so much me time that I was able to think about exactly what path I wanted to go through during for life. But I also got to find some different hobbies. Like I picked up like doing Lego sets I wasn't a huge fan of Legos at first, but I started doing Legos. Obviously, I got more into the Marvel movies during that time. I feel like I just picked up more habits and got to spend some time with family more because, my family specifically, we're always on the go. It's hard to find a time where we're all just awake at the same time and just chilling together. So that was a time where we got to spend a lot of time together. I get to hang out with my younger siblings a lot more because I didn't get to do that as much. Some from playing sports all year to traveling to little league, all of that. So once COVID hit, I got to spend some time with them and just got to hang out with them. So really just spending family time together. But I don't know. I feel like the only thing that changed was not having the college experience. Um,
Yeah.
I was only on campus for 2 full years, but I feel like that was a time that I needed, especially to
Yeah.
myself. So there was some good, there was some bad, but I just feel like COVID time for me, I enjoyed it for myself. Obviously it was a devastating time for the world, but as far as focusing on myself, that was a good time for me.
Yeah, no,
Amazing.
I think that's a lot of people say the same thing. Like it was like, a lot of people were like out of work, couldn't go to work, or working from home. So it was like, what do I do with all this time? So it was like a lot of family time spent. You're picking up new
Hmm.
hobbies that you've never thought you were gonna do before. So totally, like I feel like everyone's in the same boat there. But it's good because you've been on the go since such like a young age that like you had maybe some time to like relax and lay back a little bit,
Yeah.
and you weren't always like
Mhm.
go go go. Like you had a little break, which probably was nice for you.
Yeah, it was cool, especially, with all my friends going to college. We've been friends since we were 7, so like we're all in different places, so it's hard to get
Right.
everybody together at once. And that was a time where we were playing Call of Duty together. We were playing Fortnite together. And it's
Right.
not like anyone could like bail out because we're like you can't go anywhere. So we'd always be
Yeah.
like 9 o'clock,
Where are
we're
you gonna
getting on the
go?
game.
Yeah.
Right, like we're like 9 o'clock, we're getting on the game, we're playing box fights first, and then whoever's left, we're gonna play some search and destroy. But that was a especially like for me to being able to talk to the people that I love and care about, that was a good time for
Mhm.
me because you kind of knew what everyone was doing. No one was going out, so
Right.
like
Right.
you could just easily just call someone like, hey, like what you doing, and just figure some things out. But
Hmm.
that
Yeah.
was a good time. I sometimes I do miss it just because all my friends are so in so many different places that we can't even play the game together. So I did
Right.
miss that time. That was a fun time for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a
Well.
year-long break everyone
Yeah.
needed. For
Yeah.
for some
Yep.
people it's obviously harder, but yeah, that's good.
Well, obviously, we all know that you've been on the go since you were younger, and you've already accomplished so much, even at such a young age. Is there a goal that you have yet to accomplish that you want to accomplish?
Ooh. Um. Oh, for sure, for sure. Obviously, like having that time to think about, what I want to do. Obviously, this is a future thing, just because
Hmm.
I'm still in
Right.
school, still got stuff to figure out. So, like, I want to own a women's team, and put it in Philadelphia, just because I feel like, especially for young girls who are into sports, there are not many role models within the city that you can go and watch. There's no WNBA
Right.
team, there's no NWSL team, so there's like nothing there for young girls in sports. So putting an NBA or WNBA team or NWSL team in Philly is one of my goals, and then
Love it.
also doing some GM, some being a general manager for a sport. I think that's one thing that I'm looking forward to, just because that's what I'm going to school for next year. So hopefully within the near future that's possible. And then also just like some fun things I want to do. Like I want to go to the Olympics and get to watch the Olympics. I want to go to a
Right.
women's World Cup. I think that would be pretty cool. So those are like
So
some things that I
sick.
want to do that are coming up. But I hopefully, I mean, obviously not this year for the World Cup, but maybe next year for the Olympics, I can go and go watch. I think that'd be
Right.
cool.
That's so funny you said that. Me and my mom were literally yesterday talking about going to the Olympics. We're like, we should definitely, like, it's in Paris. Like,
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
go.
Yeah, heck yeah.
hmm
Would be
Don't blame
sick.
me.
Yeah, would be
it'd be
sick.
so
Like, you're
fun.
going to Paris, you're
Yeah.
going to the Olympics. And I used to play beach volleyball. So we're like, let's just, like, get tickets to
Oh
beach
yeah,
volleyball.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, that'd be sick.
yeah. I want to try. I want to go to track. I went to one track meet this year for my school, and that was actually pretty cool. It was indoor, but like I still was like intrigued. There were so many
Right.
different
No,
things
that's
going
sick.
on. I think that'd be
It
cool.
is. Like, all the
I want
different
to go to
events and
soccer.
stuff.
Yep, I
Yeah.
want to do soccer. I want to do basketball. I want to do volleyball. Like, there's so many things I want to go to, and I think just going to Olympics. I think that'd be pretty cool.
And just getting to see like the best of the best from
Yeah.
all around the world. Like that's the amazing thing about sports is like no matter where you come from, like we all have that in common. Like you can watch anybody from around the world come together and play
Yep.
at such a high level. It's so exciting. I did want to ask you. You said, obviously you're going to school and GM could be a possibility, this or that. But obviously you've been on ESPN with Mr. Stephen A. Smith. I saw an interview that you did with him a couple years back, and then a lot of people have said you just have just kind of the poise that you have, your energy. You're very well spoken. Would journalism ever be something in your future?
Oh yeah, for sure. I just got my undergrad in journalism, so obviously
Okay.
that's something that I got to think about in high school and pick my major once I got to college. For sure, I do want to do some broadcasting. I think that'd be
Yeah.
I've gotten to do some, but I think I've gotten enough experience where I can say that I could do that as a career. And I really do enjoy it. And the sports that I got to call, I know the sports, so it makes it pretty easy for me. But obviously, I have a lot to learn in that aspect. But I could definitely see journalism being a career for me. Maybe not the writing part, but like
Yeah.
being an analyst, I think that'd be cool. Being
Yeah.
in the booth, I've done some sideline, which is also pretty cool, and just or even like some like hosting. I think that's cool as well. Like hosting like a TV show, that was something that I've always wanted to do. Um, Something in that area, but I could definitely see being a journalist as a career.
Yeah, that's fire.
Love it, love it. All right, so before we switch gears into like fully NBA, I just have one more question to ask about a celebrity kind of fangirling over you. So there was a moment where Stephen Curry literally asked you for your autograph. How was that experience? How was talking to him? Like he just seems like such a chill dude. So I just want to know how that went down.
That was cool. I just remember I even skipped basketball practice for this. Like I think
Yeah.
I was
I would
either
too.
it was either
Worth
my
it.
Yeah.
Worth it.
Oh
for
yeah.
sure. The coaches were like they understood.
Oh
They were
yeah.
like, yeah, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
you're meeting
I
Yeah,
gave
how
him a
could
heads
you
up
Alright.
too.
not? Like
This time. Just
I'm
this
like,
I
one.
gave him a
I'm out
heads
of
up.
here.
Yeah, I didn't even get dressed for practice. I was like, look, I'm leaving at this time. I'll catch you later. And they're like, oh, cool, whatever. But I knew what was gonna happen. I didn't know, like, I just thought I was gonna meet him and that was it. I didn't know, like, we were
Right.
gonna have a talk. He let me shoot on the court. Like, he signed my jersey. I didn't know any of that was gonna happen. And
Right, that's sick.
my best friend Scott, who's on the team as well, I was like, I want Scott to come. Like, we called each other like the Splash siblings because we would always shoot around.
Aww.
That's cute.
So I like had to bring him with me. We got to see Clay shoot around and Steph Curry, so I thought that was pretty cool. But he was just super nice, like just a down to earth guy. He was telling me like the easiest spots to shoot on an NBA court, and just like was like, oh, you like got a nice jump shot, like just having a conversation. And it was something like I sometimes I do forget, and then sometimes like I actually like met this guy. Like that's
That's
crazy. Like
wild.
I like to call myself like the good luck charm because like I met him before the All-Star break, and then he was in the 3-point contest at the All-Star game, and he like gave me a fist bump before, and he ended up winning it. So I like to say I'm like his
Let's
good luck
go.
charm for the 3-point contest.
Aww,
Heck
that's
yeah.
wild.
Heck yeah.
Of course, I
Wow.
feel like I would definitely forget about it because it's just like such a surreal moment that you just don't even feel like it's real. You're like, how did that
Yeah.
happen?
Yeah, like you see the
Yeah, it
picture of you
didn't.
on Google. you're
Are
like,
you
that's
sure
me?
that actually happens?
There's like times where
Wow.
like people will bring stuff up, and I'm like oh, like that
Like,
actually happened.
oh
Like
shit,
that's
that
real.
was me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get, and people
Wow.
are like always like you've done so much, and I'm like honestly like sometimes I forget just because like I'm trying to move on to like the next thing and
Right.
trying to
Yeah.
focus on the future. But like,
Right.
like COVID was a time where I got to like sit and like realize like, dang, like I've done so much in my life that like a lot of people have never accomplished, and like I was like
Yeah.
really appreciative of it. I was grateful. Like I always say thanks to all like my coaches that helped, my
Wild.
parents, siblings, like all my
Mhm.
friends. Just because like if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be where I am.
Right, of course.
Right. And that's okay. I mean, you can appreciate what you have, but always, strive for more. And that's it's a good balance to
Yep.
have for sure. Okay, so being from Philly, are you a Sixers fan, or did the Steph Curry interaction convert you to a Warriors fan?
Well, I was before that interaction. I actually was a Steph Curry fan before, so I think it was
Okay.
like a Valentine's Day gift that like my mom gave to me. We got to go to Madison Square Garden and got to watch him play against the Knicks, which I thought was pretty cool.
So
And this was like
Wow.
right before he really started like blowing up. But like I was a Warriors fan, and then once I started getting older, I started just becoming a Players fan. So like
Yeah.
obviously Steph Curry. I've been a huge Devin Booker fan since he was at Kentucky, so like I got to support
okay.
him. And then Jamal Crawford, which people are like, whoa, like Jamal Crawford, but Jamal Crawford is
Yeah.
definitely up there for me. Those are
Okay.
probably my top 3 favorites.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
I love to hear it. Okay, so yeah, that was gonna be my question. Who's your favorite NBA player? But you broke it down for us right there. Would you rather see Jimmy Butler win his first ring or Nikola Jokic win his first ring?
I'll give it to Jimmy. I'd rather see Jimmy just because what he's done for since he's been in Miami, it's
Mm-hmm.
it's unbelievable. Like the bubble, that was crazy to watch. And then now being the 8 seed, knocking out the Bucks, knocking out the Celtics, and now like they're here.
It's
I
wild.
think I'd definitely rather see Jimmy Butler win just because of the team that he has. I feel like he has a bunch of underdogs on his team, and then you got like Denver.
Absolutely.
I'm not discrediting Denver or anything, but like they have a 2-time MVP on their team.
Right.
They have Jamal Murray who's just going off. They have Michael Porter Jr. who's going off. But I so much rather see the number 8 seed have that Cinderella story. And I feel like no matter
Yeah.
what, they're always the underdog somehow, some way. So
Oh yeah.
I'd definitely rather see Jimmy win a ring.
We might already know your answer, but would you rather sit down and have dinner with LeBron James or Steph Curry?
Ooh.
And why?
It's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah,
Oh.
because you met Steph. I don't know if you've met
Yeah.
Bron, but now it's kind of
I
like,
have.
well,
Oh,
oh, you
Should I
have?
have?
Okay, let's go.
oh, that's tough. Ooh, honestly, they're both okay. I'm gonna look at it as like a business standpoint and what I can
Okay.
do for future, in
Okay.
my life. I feel like LeBron would be the answer just because he is involved in so many different things.
Yeah.
Like obviously he has, the
Right.
shop and he's a producer, so is Steph Curry. But LeBron also he has I think he has some stake in Liverpool, the soccer team. So he's like
Right.
expanded it.
Yeah.
So that's
Like
tough.
the
I'd probably go with
connections he
LeBron.
has.
She's
Yeah,
thinking
I'd
money
probably go
moves.
with
Yeah,
She's
I
thinking
love it.
money
I
moves
love
over
that.
here. She's
Yeah, I'm
thinking
gonna have to
money
yeah.
moves over here.
I'm going with
That's a solid
LeBron.
answer.
LeBron all
I
the
mean,
way,
you
yeah.
can't there's no wrong answer for that
No.
one. Like
Yeah.
either way's a win, but like obviously LeBron is arguably the best player to ever touch a basketball, so it's like
And just
Yeah.
so smart when it like you
Really,
said when it comes to
yeah.
business, the connections he could put you
he's
on.
a billionaire.
Like,
He's a
100%.
Yeah,
billionaire.
that is
Yeah,
true.
he is.
Yeah.
Steph is almost
Yeah.
a billionaire too, though. I think, right?
That's a tough one. Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
No, that's
but
it's a tough one, but you can't
Yeah.
lose either way.
Yeah, that's
it's
solid answer.
it's a win-win. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
It's a win-win situation. All right, and last, would you rather play catch with Aaron Judge or Mookie Betts? Just a little catch game, maybe on the
okay.
beach, like a nice little football game or a little throwing a baseball back
Yeah,
and
like
forth.
more so for like
Some
you would
like
hang out with
casual,
him.
but you'd
Yeah,
also like
learn from
yeah,
him.
like a casual catch experience, but like still catches it's somewhere in there.
I go with Mookie Betts. I'm interning with the
Ooh.
Dodgers right now, so I'll definitely go with Mookie Betts.
Ooh,
that's
that's sick. First of all,
Yeah.
congrats on that. And second,
Thank you.
I wasn't really expecting that because I feel like everyone would straight off the bat be like Aaron Judge. But I like you for saying
Yeah,
that.
I
That's
mean
sick.
Mookie. I feel like Mookie. He has a YouTube channel now, so like you get to see his personality, and I feel like
I
he's just
love
like
that.
the personality is really there. So I feel like for him, plus Aaron Judge is like 6'7". Like I feel like
Yeah,
I feel like his kid. Like it'd be
yeah.
like I don't know. That would just it'd feel weird, but I'd
No,
probably go
that's
with
totally
Mookie.
valid. Totally valid.
Okay, we got a start bench cut for you, NBA.
Okay.
We got a
all
couple of them for you.
We got a couple of them. We're gonna start with this one. It's tough. Is this current? Yeah, we'll go.
Yeah,
we'll go
current, right now, not prime, right
like
now.
this
Okay.
last season. Start bench cut: LeBron, Giannis, and Kevin Durant.
Dang. Honestly, I'm gonna go with start LeBron.
Okay.
Oh.
And it's
See, I
hard
know-
because both these guys like they struggled this past season, right?
Yeah.
A little bit.
They've been hurt too.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yep.
Dang. I know this is very controversial because I feel like people will cut LeBron just because of his age.
Right.
Right.
But you got to think about
yeah.
what he's been doing. Like he's
At
been,
his age.
like he's been putting up some crazy numbers.
Yeah.
Respect.
Honestly, I love KD.
Mhm.
But KD has been hurt. he's been hurt for like the last 2 seasons, kind of.
Yeah, but you
Right.
think of them healthy, like when they're healthy. You can't like put up a hurt KD against the LeBron. Like,
Yeah.
Honestly, okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go with start LeBron, bench KD, cut Giannis. Just because I feel like
Okay.
KD. I know. Hear me out. That's hard. It's hard, but I feel
No, it
like
is
KD
hard.
is
It's
it
tough,
could,
yeah.
it's oh my goodness. KD's so versatile though.
Yes.
So like LeBron can basically LeBron does the same thing Giannis can do, if we're being honest. Like LeBron can play bully ball, if we're being honest, if he really
100%.
wants to.
he
And he
can,
can
he
shoot
can,
threes.
definitely, 100%.
Ish.
No, 100%.
I just think being a shooter, I just think I would want to go with shooters.
Okay.
Okay. No, I like that.
Because
I mean,
if you give LeBron the ball and you have Giannis on the wing, he's not really a threat to make the three. You know what I mean? So like
Giannis, yeah,
you give LeBron the
100%.
ball on the post, you got KD on the wing, he's gonna knock that shot down. So somebody's gonna be open somehow, some way. You get Giannis, I feel like the paint's gonna be clogged up.
That's
So
valid.
I'm going with that decision.
all right,
Good-
I like
good
it. I
answer.
like it.
Yeah.
All right, hopefully the next one isn't as difficult for you, but it's Joel Embiid, reigning MVP, Jokic, and Anthony Davis.
Oh, I'm starting Jokic, benching Embiid, and I'm cutting AD.
AD's
Word.
out of here.
Agreed.
Yeah.
That's
Easy,
solid.
just
That's-
like that. She
yeah.
said
Yeah.
easy,
Easy.
just like
Bye,
that.
easy. Sorry. Finals prediction, because we kind of just talked about it, but when it comes down to it, are you gonna take Miami, ride with them this one?
I'm gonna just say
Okay.
it. But like being technical, I feel like Bam is gonna struggle with Jokic.
100%. Yeah.
But like I think that's the only thing that like kind of worries me. But I'm gonna go with the Heat. I'm gonna stick with the Heat. I did have them losing to the Celtics last round, but I'm going with the
Okay.
Heat.
As a Heat fan, I love
Yeah,
that you said
she's
that. But
that
I'm not
Heat
saying
fan.
anything because I'm like literally so like paranoid that I'm
You
gonna
don't
jinx
jinx
it.
Yeah, no, I
Wait,
feel that. I feel that.
But wait, before we move on, I do have one more start bench cut for you, if that's okay.
That's cool.
Jimmy Butler, Jason Tatum, or Kawhi Leonard?
Okay, I'm starting Jimmy. I am benching Tatum. Even though that's tough, but like if we're talking currently, yeah, I'm starting Jimmy, benching Tatum, and cutting Kawhi. Just because Kawhi's been hurt.
All right,
Yeah.
another easy one. All right,
Yeah.
another easy one.
All right, so if you had the opportunity to play any NBA player one-on-one, who would you pick? It could be all time.
I guess you gotta go with.
You're gonna say Jamal?
Dang, I was gonna say Jordan.
Okay.
Did Haley just say
Honestly-
Jamal Crawford?
Well, I thought that's
Honestly,
you said that was the player.
No,
you loved.
yeah. I'm gonna go Kobe. I'm gonna go Kobe. I feel
Okay,
like
like
mentally, I feel like he'd help me mentally.
Yeah.
I think he would. I feel like I would get broken down, but then build back up. So I'll
Yeah.
go with Kobe.
He would push you.
Yeah, push you to the
Yeah.
brink for sure. But
I like
I
that
love
answer. And that's definitely a good one. And he's Kobe, so it's like playing
Yeah.
1v1. It's like, that'd be sick.
Yeah.
All right. I want to know top 5 NBA players in the league right now. Your opinion.
Are we talking order or no order?
I would like an order, but if you can't do an order, then you could just say 5 of them.
I'm not gonna go in order.
Okay,
Oh,
that's
don't
cool.
do it in order.
Yeah.
The controversy would be crazy.
I know
Yeah.
that'd be fire.
I already
though.
know. Just
Yeah.
already know people that are whoever watches it, they're gonna dislike my order or
No,
dislike
no,
whoever I
Not
pick.
just the world,
Wait,
dude.
this
They
is
do
for me.
all. They do all the time.
Dude, the
It's
internet
fine.
is
This is for
wild
me.
all the time. Doesn't matter.
All right.
All right, go for
I'm
it.
going with Luka
Okay.
Jokic.
Have to.
It's tough because a lot of the
Yikes,
older
yikes.
superstars are like they're so good, but it's like, are they still the best?
Yeah. Obviously Steph.
Yep.
You gotta put Steph in there.
Facts.
I know people will say Embiid, but like the way he's played in the playoffs, that kind of I'm a little upset with
I'm
him
down
right
a
now.
little bit. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with KD.
Okay.
Okay, one more. It's a good list.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with LeBron just because he's doing things that no 38-year-old's doing.
Okay,
Yeah,
I like
I'm-
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with that 5.
It's crazy
She's,
because I
she's
think
gonna give LeBron his respect.
I
Yeah.
think you should. I think you should. I think if we had been asked like prior to this postseason, a lot of our answers would be different because it'd be like Giannis, Kate, But after
Yeah.
that postseason, I agree with you. Like Joel, unfortunately, is like he's gone a little bit down.
Yeah.
So that's a solid list. I like it.
And I'll give an honorable mention to Shea.
Yes. Oh my
Yes.
god. I
Yeah.
was
Love
hoping
Shea.
you were gonna say that. We're like
Yeah.
Dude, he's
stands 100%.
absolutely.
So
Yeah.
we're so
special.
happy that you said that because he's like so underrated, doesn't get talked about
Yeah,
as much
for
as he
sure.
deserves. Oh, love him.
It just sucks because he's on the Thunder and they're
Small
so young.
market,
Yeah.
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 It's
Gonna
what
have
it
to
is.
have a few struggle years.
Yeah.
He went off this season. I'll give that
He
to him.
went crazy.
He's so tough, yeah. How about that's a good question. Out of all the kind of like younger teams, I'd even classify maybe the Grizzlies a younger team, OKC, obviously like the Rockets and Pistons, but maybe the Hornets. Is there any team that you see could be like the next dynasty, or
Even
just
the
be a really
Kings.
strong
I would say the
core?
Kings too.
The
Yeah.
Kings, I would say the Spurs will be ish, but we don't know
Spurs
what Wemby
too,
will look
yeah.
like yet.
Yeah.
But is there any team that stands out?
I would say the Kings and OKC for sure.
No,
Yeah.
definitely. I agree
For
with
sure.
you.
I just
100%.
feel like the Grizzlies have too much going on right now.
Yeah.
But I do think that they could be a really good team. I just think I feel like once Shannon Sharp started chirping at him that one game, that it hasn't been the same.
It kind of
And John's
exploded.
dad started getting involved. It was like,
Yeah,
all right,
yeah.
we,
It
we
was-
need to
yeah.
Chill out.
we need to
But
press
I- was too much.
restart.
Too
yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Too much.
Absolutely.
But yeah, definitely the Kings, just because of what they did in that Warrior series.
Wild.
They were tough.
And then OKC, just because Shea, and then you have Giddy, sometimes he confuses me because I don't know if he's good or if he's not good.
Right?
But he
plays his
I
role
don't know, he
well.
fits.
He plays his
He
role well.
fits.
He's unselfish,
Yeah.
but sometimes he's inconsistent. For sure.
Yeah.
He's young.
Yeah.
He's
But-
young. He'll find
He
his
is
way.
young.
Yeah.
I think with Chet, I think they could do, depending on how he comes back, I think they could do well.
Facts.
No, I like those answers.
Solid, yeah.
All right. I know you mentioned you liked Devin Booker before. So I have this little game here. I'm going to give you a couple of names, and you're going to tell me if you'd rather take them or Devin Booker.
Ooh.
Okay.
All right? All right. First off, we got Jaylen Brown.
Dang. Start off tough.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking Devin Booker.
John Morant.
Devin Booker.
All right. Donovan Mitchell.
I'm taking Book. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Jason Tatum.
Dang. I had this discussion with my friends.
Don't let
Oh.
Tatum. Don't let it knock you off course.
No. I'm taking Book.
Yeah,
All right.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right. Luca.
Dang, man. Oh, man. See, this one's tricky because what they both do for their organization.
Just
I'm
got to
gonna
take
have to-
one.
I'm gonna have to go with Luca. I'll
All
have
right.
to do
Oh,
it.
so we got you somewhere at least. I was scared we were
Yeah.
never going to get you
Yeah.
off the
Yeah.
book train.
Yeah.
All right,
I mean-
and
Cool.
yeah, last
Yeah.
but not least, Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy got that. I'm gonna go with Jimmy. Jimmy got a dog in him.
Yeah,
Jimmy
I like
does-
that.
He's different. Yeah.
There's something about Jimmy that he does in the playoffs that nobody else is doing. So I'm gonna go with
It's
Jimmy.
this. He
Yeah.
taps in his mental like no other. It's
Mhm.
insane.
Yeah.
Good answers though. I like it. I like that, you stuck with it. And you didn't let anybody, take you off course. That was good. Good list.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had to give it to Luca though. Luca,
Yeah.
what he did to Devin Booker in the playoffs before.
You know,
I had
Luca in the
Yeah.
next couple of years, best player in the NBA. Like he's
Oh, I
unreal.
can see it.
Yeah, no, he's unreal, and I feel like you can't have like a top 5 list or like a
Yeah.
comparison without saying Luca's name because what he's done, I feel like, is insane, and like it's definitely been overlooked this season because of all the drama
Mhm.
with the Mavs and Kyrie going over there, them missing the postseason. But you
Yeah.
cannot count that guy out. Like he's gonna
Yeah,
be
you can't.
threatening.
Well,
Yep.
he's so young still, and it's just kind of like those early years
Yeah.
of the franchise,
Yeah,
like
but
building
you know what?
around him.
So many people are constantly always like so young, so young, so young. But Joel Embiid's been so young, so young, so young
Yeah.
for 7 years now.
That's
So
valid.
it's like
Yeah.
it's like you got to do it young, or else like we're not gonna have the same excuse for
Also-
7, 8, 9
also
years.
Tatum.
That's a good point.
Like Tatum
Yeah,
as
Tatum
well.
too. Yeah,
Dude,
They keep
100%.
saying this guy's
He's
19.
19.
Yeah. What the?
No, this kid's been 19 for 6 years. I swear to God.
Yeah. But what has obviously Tatum is okay. This is discussion that my friends and I had. Tatum is a superstar. There's different tiers of superstars.
Yes.
I don't think Tatum is a tier 1 superstar.
Okay.
Just because he hasn't really performed well in the playoffs to give him that tier 1 superstar status.
No, I 100% agree.
Okay, it was also Devin Booker. I was giving Devin Booker also that tier 2 superstar. But I just think if they can get over that, if they both get a ring, then I'll put them in tier 1. But what they do during the regular season is all right, they're on the edge of tier 1.
Right.
They're still tier 2, but could be tier 1. But then once it comes to the postseason, it's that doesn't give them that edge.
And what's the point of the game? The game is to win and win at the highest level.
No, I mean, I agree, because it's you get all these superstars that are outstanding regular season, and then postseason comes and you're like, where the hell did you go? So it's tier 1, you only got Braun, Steph, KD. List isn't that
Giannis,
deep if you're looking there. Exactly. So no, I completely agree with you, because at the end of the day, everyone's playing for one reason, and that one reason is to win a chip, to win a ring. And if you can't do that, how are you going to be, amongst Kobe, MJ, LeBron? It's just a whole different category.
Yeah. And these guys, I like confidence, and it's so crucial, but these guys that are claiming I'm just as good as these other guys, it's no, you got to humble yourself to a point and just keep going. But Tatum is for me, I don't consider Tatum a superstar. Who am I to consider anyone anything? But in my opinion, because I think that even though he's been to the Eastern Conference Finals 4 times, and then the finals now, he's incredible, but you have to find that part within you, which I think is the mental aspect of your game, to push you there, and not everyone's capable of doing that. And so if you can't do that, you aren't among those guys. I'm sorry. And obviously your team plays into it too. So,
but I also think there's another aspect that goes into that tier 1, tier 2, because sometimes they are you could say tier 1 superstar level, but they don't have the backing to get them that ring or something. That's true. They perform for Jimmy Butler, for instance, he's performing better than every other playoff contender, maybe other than Jokic, if you want to argue that thing. But if he doesn't win the championship, I wouldn't say that he was the reason, or he's not performing good in the postseason. So that's another little side argument you could have within that tier 1, tier 2 argument, because there is really good playoff performers, but they just don't have enough to get him to a chip. I think Lillard, he had great playoff runs, but except he just didn't have a good team to take him to the top.
Yeah, tough situation.
It also comes to what are you doing when the lights hit? And I feel if we're sticking on Tatum, I feel Tatum he didn't perform as well as people think he should perform. 7 points, come on now.
That's wild.
It's unacceptable.
But also for that series, you got to get on the Sixers too, because if he's having 7 points, why are you not winning that game?
Right.
Yeah,
how do you let him have 2 bad games in a row and you don't capitalize to end that series?
No, why is Joel Embiid and James Harden? Yeah, why is Joel Embiid and James Harden not scoring in the last 5 minutes of a crucial game 6? It's baffling.
Yeah. After that, I just stopped watching. I was I can't do this.
It's painful.
I literally hated that series. I was so mad at Philly because I was you guys had it in the bag.
Yep.
So I was so disappointed in Philly for choking. Once again, we see every single season. I was mad at Boston for not playing as good as they should have and as well as they showed us in the regular season. Yeah. So that series was definitely frustrating, but that's basketball, so.
Yeah, it was uneventful. Out of the NBA, is there any player, I don't want to put them on blast, but is there any player that you think maybe is a little bit overrated, and then one that you think is really underrated, deserves more credit?
Would you classify Shai as underrated? Because I feel he's starting to get his recognition now.
No, to you, what you see in the media, I agree. I think he's mad underrated. Yeah, I think he's starting to get more credit. But
I'm gonna give Shai the underrated.
Okay.
Overrated? Dang, overrated? I mean, if we're talking about this season, I'm gonna have to give AD to overrated.
Okay, that's a valid,
that's a good one. That's a good answer.
I think he struggled. And imagine, just the injuries. He, that eventually takes a toll on you, and I think that it's just time to know that AD isn't, his body just might not be meant for it, and that sucks, but, yeah. That's a good
Yeah,
answer.
I'm gonna go AD. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, no,
Like it.
that's definitely a good answer because he
Yeah.
definitely majorly underperformed.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
No, so
Especially in the
yeah,
playoffs, I was pretty
yeah,
disappointed with that.
Yeah.
yeah. No, that's a good answer. Okay, and then we'll just leave you with this one question, which I think is like a really fun question for everyone. But if you could go back in time and bring one NBA player that's ever played the game to come in today's league, who would it be?
That is
I'm gonna go with. I feel like I'm gonna go with Jordan just because I feel like this will settle the debate between him, Kobe, and LeBron.
Yeah.
But who's your go?
My goat. I mean,
Yeah.
I grew up like when I really started to understand was
LeBron.
basketball was when LeBron was playing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm gonna say LeBron.
Right.
I think we both have him as the go-to just because like it's hard to like the eye test and like the feeling you get of watching LeBron. Like we just didn't get to experience that with Jordan. So how can we
Yeah.
like speak? I mean, highlights
No.
are dope, but it's like it's
No,
not the same.
exactly. And it's like kids these days, they watch like Last Dance once and they're like, Jordan's the GOAT.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro,
Yeah,
you
no.
never sat down and watched like an actual Jordan game. Like, sit down, watch a
Yeah.
Jordan game, understand the game, understand how
Yeah.
they played the game back then. Like, it's completely different. And LeBron, when you talk, LeBron obviously being as big as he is, has a lot of hate because he's just that
Mhm.
big. So a lot of people like to argue, are you watching LeBron now? I'm like, you guys, everyone is like limiting LeBron's career to like what he's done with the Lakers in the past 4 years. Do you remember the Cavs LeBron? Do you remember Miami LeBron? Like,
Yeah.
LeBron
Yeah.
is,
Recency
I think
bias.
LeBron is, yeah, like, it's just, it's crazy, like, how much, like, people don't give LeBron credit for, but it's definitely, like, LeBron is LeBron. Like, you can't take that away
Yeah.
from him, and he's really done his thing with the league. But I like that question that I asked you, like, who you could bring back, because I think it's such a fun question. Like, Haley, who would you bring back, for example? Like, I feel like you get a lot of different things for different reasons.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I'd bring back Magic, I think, just because, kind of like you said, Renee, like the settling the debate of like best point guard. Plus, I think Magic would be able to fit so well and have a guard as big as him, especially in the league today where it's like mostly smaller guards. Obviously, we have like Luka and others, but yeah, I'd love to see Magic play IRL. That'd
Sick.
be fire.
I love it. See, Jordan, Magic, I'd bring back Shaq, hands down. Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
we don't, we
Show him
haven't,
off, Shaq.
no, we
need
haven't
that.
had a big in the league as dominant as Shaq, and then bigs, like the decline of the big man. Like, we need someone like Shaq
Yeah.
in the league to, like, you know, like, take us back to the roots of what a center actually
Mhm.
does. And I think that'd be in, like, no, so it's actually like such a fun question because you get so many different, like, responses for so many different reasons. So I think it's just a sick question to like end off with. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, for
So-
sure. And just because like we all picked something for a different reason. Like
Yeah.
I had like
Yeah.
the best player, you had the point guard, you had the big man. But yeah, I feel like honestly Shaq was a good one just because the big men don't do what big men did before. You know, big
No,
men were
not at
rarely
all.
taking.
They've
They were
lost
rarely
themselves.
shooting 3-pointers.
Never.
Like,
They were just posting up the
He's,
whole
like-
time. That's
Which
what
is
you're
good.
supposed
he's
to do as a
dominating the
big.
block right now.
Like it's
it's
cool, but it's not. It's like your primary focus shouldn't be shooting threes, Joel Embiid. Love to
Mhm.
see it. It's incredible that you have that in your bag, but at the same time, like maybe it'd be nice to see more dominance in the league. I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
That is
Like-
a good one.
I have such a hot take, like I always say it, is I think Joel Embiid would be the best player in the NBA if he played how a big was supposed to play. I say it every single day.
Just
Uh,
less on the perimeter. You
not-
mean?
Yeah, no, like if he just played, like, I wish him and Shaq would just do like a private lesson together, and like he just like kind of converted his game to just like what like a raw big needs. Like, I think he'd be the best player in the league by far. Like, posting up like the whole time, like dominant. Like, oh, I would love that shit.
I think that goes to some coaching though. I feel like especially if we're going back to like when Ben Simmons was still with the Sixers,
Yeah.
I feel like I know that name. I just feel like if they had a good coach who, you know, put his foot down, let them know like, listen, this is what you're gonna do, and this is how we're gonna win this game. Because someone can't get mad at you for winning these games. Like if
Yeah.
you're not happy, go somewhere else. But at the same
Right.
time, with the team that we have, this is how we have to do it to win. And I feel like they
Yeah.
didn't have anyone that was hard on Ben Simmons. Like somebody should have told him, you all summer you focus on getting your jump shot together.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
you do.
And give
like,
him the
everything
tools
else
he needs
is
to
there.
like do that. Don't just like
No,
Exactly.
Ben Simmons was a
Like-
lost cause. Like,
Yeah.
can't.
I
can't.
was, you know, I was a fan Being
Oh,
in Philly,
same.
I got to
I
watch him a
love Ben
bunch.
Simmons. I still
It just
respect him, but it's just sad.
It's so
It
difficult.
feels
Yeah, it's so hard. But like if I feel like if the Sixers team gets a coach that is on them and they get that one leader, like I was sad for them letting Jimmy Butler go because he was the leader that they
so
needed.
dumb. Absolutely.
Like they
Tobias
needed
over
him.
me.
Why would you?
Tobias over me.
Like they needed him. Like that was what they needed. And
Yeah.
now that they don't have it, it's like everyone gets to do whatever they want. But like if Embiid, like put Embiid on the post. Embiid, you should be dominant. You're bigger than half these guys here.
100%.
Use your body. Like
Why
use
is
your
he
Play
body.
like
waiting
a
on the
shooting guard. Like, what are we
perimeter?
doing here?
He's literally
yeah.
waiting on the line. He's like, Tobias Harris, pass it to me. I'm like, bro, go in the paint. Go do something.
Right.
I just hope with
Pisses
this
me
new
off.
coach that they can turn some things around and they can get some shooters. Like
Yeah, we'll
Maxey
see,
can only do
'cause
so much. He's so
I know, like,
he's
Embiid
young
and Nick
though.
Nurse had beef too, so we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah,
you-
this will be very interesting.
Did you think kind of letting Doc go was a good move on their part?
It didn't really matter to me. Just because I feel like we've been seeing the same thing over and over again that I think it was like time to like,
For
all right,
real.
like it's time to let go. Like we've given you so many chances and you haven't gotten past this point. So I think it was bound to happen, especially with seeing how all these other coaches were basically being let go, that it was going to happen at some point. So hopefully this next coach can give them the edge and push them over the top.
Just kind of inevitable for sure.
Yeah.
Well, Monet, thank you so much for joining us today. Honestly, we might have to have you back sometime to
I'm
come
down.
talk basketball with us. This
I
was
know.
fun. Like it's usually just us, so having
And you're fire at it. Like
you know your
we
stuff.
see that we see like the journalists, like analysts, like in
Yeah.
you, like bro,
Absolutely.
you're welcome on Playmaker
try.
Podcast any day of the week.
Yeah, every day.
Just
if
let
you
me
want.
know. Just let me know. Just let me know.
No,
I'll be here.
Absolutely,
I'll be here.
absolutely. And for your fans and people that watch this, is there anything you want to say, any encouragement, or even where they can how they can support you, or where they can watch you?
I mean, I'm just kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
But like, if you ever come to a Dodger game, some videos that I edit during my internship could be up there. So
Hey.
just something little like that. But
Okay.
also I mean, I'm just everywhere. I mean, I might not post that much, but like, just know I'm going in the right path, and I'm doing well. I'm not going off the rails right now, but I'm doing well.
Good. That's good to
Love
hear.
to hear it. Love
Absolutely.
to see it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for coming on the pod.
Yeah, and we'll definitely have you back for sure if you're down.
For sure. I'm down.